Hey, welcome, Jim.
Hi there, Santos. Good evening.
Welcome back. Looks like we're live here. So the music sounds good there. We've got a visitor already. We want to welcome that visitor. We've got another visitor. We want to welcome those of you that are visiting us by way of LinkedIn, by way of Twitch, and YouTube. We have Jim all the way from Tucson, Arizona. I am Santos here in Stockton, my little, call it your makeshift office here, if you will. Glad to be here for the next 45 minutes. This is all gamblers welcome. Really, all gamblers welcome. 45 minutes of brainstorming, 45 minutes of soldiers of self-mastery community support. Join in and be sure, well, you got to ask a question here. This is going to be kind of like an open forum tonight here. A little bit. Well, maybe not. We have some topics. But if you had two wishes, which two wishes would you want to have? What would you wish for if you can only have two wishes? Anyways, that might be part of the topic here. So welcome, come in, buckle up, make sure you turn down your distractions, grab a pen. Did you invite a friend? My name is Uncle Pren. No, I'm just kidding. What was that movie about? Anyways, so welcome. This is episode number 369. Again, this is going to go by very quick. Remember to take your P.O.I, points of interest. Your good life is going to come out of a good series of good, constant, positive reminders. And there's always room for improvement within room for improvement. Gambling is a big, fat lie. There we go. Hey, Jim, give us your intro here. We got a proverb coming also. All right, we'll turn down the music so we're good there. We want to welcome those of you that are here. Jim, share with us. We've got a few visitors right now, and we've got, before we get into what we're going to be, I don't know. The topic is, we'll leave the topic kind of open for discussion. If anybody wants to ask a question, again, all gamblers welcome. Is this Gamblers Anonymous? I guess you can call it Gamblers Anonymous to a certain degree. Go ahead, Jim. I got the proverb coming here.
Yeah. In our last school's professional development, the principal was talking about making an impact in students' lives. And I was thinking about that word. I thought that was a pretty good word to kind of focus on. What does it mean to make an impact in other people's lives? What does it mean to make an impact on our lives? I mean, think about the actions that we do, the thoughts that we make. We want those actions and those thoughts to have a significant impact in our lives, to move us in the right direction. We can do a lot of things and we can go and say a lot of things, but are they actually giving us, a meaningful impact in positive change? I was thinking about that, and I was thinking, there's a lot of activities that we do, but sometimes it's kind of useless, doesn't do anything. It looks like, we're doing something, but we're really not doing anything. It's like taking notes but not doing anything with those notes, not taking action, reading a book but not doing anything with that information. So what are we doing to make an impact in our lives every day? What are the significant things? And I was thinking, sometimes we get overwhelmed with so many things that we can possibly focus on. Perhaps we need to kind of narrow the focus down to one or maybe two activities and just do them consistently over and over and over. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's let me get the proverb. And then we'll get into this. And let's look at this. And we talked about being busy, right? We could be busy. We could be really busy doing a lot of stuff, but are you paying attention to the busyness? Are you really paying attention? sometimes you have to make changes, right? I shouldn't say sometimes. You're making changes constantly. That's never ending.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get to this so I don't get distracted here, because I can see some visitors. Welcome aboard, all the way through LinkedIn, through YouTube, Twitch, and let me see, MSTR Carnivore, Philippians 1:21. If you had let me get this. No, let me get. If you had the ability to, if someone came to you and said, you could get two wishes, right? Just two wishes. And once those two wishes, once you say whatever it is, that's it. You get two, right? What would be the first one? What would be your first wish? What would be the first wish? Why would you choose to wish that one first? I don't know. Maybe this little game can get us motivated to do something more than what we're doing today. I don't know. But it would be interesting, wouldn't it, to be able to have two wishes, and of course, which one. Just trying to get you to think about which one would you choose first. Which would be your priority wish? Uh, find purpose, find meaning in life, being smarter through wisdom. 121, Philippians 1:21. Thank you for hanging out with us, by the way. I'm in Stockton. I might have said that. I'm in Stockton. Jim is in Tucson, Arizona. And we are reading, "For to me to live is Christ and to die is gain." It's Philippians chapter 1, verse 21. "For to me to live is Christ and to die is gain." So here's the picture of following Christ and getting in tune with his word, with his way, with his philosophy. Yet it says in that process, you're going to die. You're going to go through some kind of a death, but it's gain. That's interesting. In order to gain, you must die. And that is true with, like, when you think about a seed, a little seed that you plant in a garden. And of course, we have seeds that are going into the garden of our minds, right? Your mind is like a garden. A seed has to die in there before it can germinate. Has to. So going back, let me see. We have a few visitors. I am looking for questions. Going back to, that's why I often ask myself, Jim, to be completely let me see, what is the word? Transparent. I ask myself, is it worth coming and doing these live podcasts on Wednesdays and Sundays? So I ask myself that. I sit down and I journal during the week, and because it's like a lot of the stuff that we speak about, right? We share. Now, if we get a lot of questions, that's different. We don't get a lot of questions, unfortunately. Maybe we're not asking the right questions, right? To get questions to be asked. But you should be looking at whatever it is that you're doing. Sometimes you just want to give up temporarily. That's all right, I guess, if you're going to give up temporarily. But I'm not talking about throwing in the towel, right? Just give up temporarily. Maybe that's a time for regrouping or rethinking. Am I moving in the right direction? Is this what I really want to be doing? Do I want to be doing Sunday live podcasts at 7:30 till 8:15 or whatever? Do I want to be putting videos out during the week for YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, to support gamblers worldwide? Or
Yeah, I think this program on Sunday is a good time for everyone to reflect upon what happened last week. You know, the good, the bad, right? You know, did you have a plan? Did you follow through on the plan? What went well? What didn't go well? Right? And I think that is a good place to start asking some questions. I think the audience members should kind of reflect upon the week. What happened? I mean, like, you're here for a reason. We're all here for a reason. Did we go ahead and make any kind of impact in the goal that we're trying to go and achieve? You know, freedom from addiction, right? Freedom from addiction. That's your goal, isn't it, everyone? Right? Trying to be master of yourself and your thinking and your emotions, right? How's it going? You know, what's happening? You know, what went well, what didn't go well? You know, it's like one of the things that I was thinking about is negative self talk, right? Negative thoughts, negative emotions. You know, what did I do to help? You know, my lady friend told me one time, you know, if you get that kind of stuff going on in your mind, you just go and say, please, God, take these thoughts away. Take these thoughts away. And it works, I tell you. You go ahead and meditate on that. You know, if you have a lot of negative self talk, a lot of negative emotions, just say, please, God, take these thoughts away. Take these thoughts away. It really does work. And I encourage everyone to go ahead and think about that. You know, take a few moments to close your eyes, understand those negative self-talk, the language that you're speaking to yourself, right? The anxiety, you know, the anger or the negativity, and just say, God, take these thoughts away. Take them away. Take them away, please. Take them away. You know, so I mean, for me, I'm sharing that. Did anyone else have any kind of success over the week, overcoming anything? I'd encourage everyone to go ahead and talk about, you know, their successes and maybe even challenges. What happened this week? You know, every week is a challenge. You know,
Mhm. Yeah.
in pursuit of our goals, right? In pursuit of our goals. So where are we? What's happening? You know, what is happening with everyone?
We're gonna Laura says she had a slip this past week. Well, hope it wasn't on a banana peel, right? It wasn't on a banana peel. We're going to look at that and see. Because again, you have to keep improving upon what you see as your mission, right? You must keep improving upon your mission. Can be very, very difficult and dark sometimes. It could become, well, you know, if it's really difficult and dark and if you feel like you're in a prison, it's actually an opportunity for you to look at what's really going on. Because if you don't, you already know what you're getting and you don't want more of the same. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and wishing for something to happen different. Now that can go the other way too, because you can keep doing something new that's different, right? You can keep doing something new that's different and practice it, and you'll get a different result from what you were doing before. Does that make sense, Jim?
Yeah,
And
I mean,
and yeah, let me. So okay, look at. Go ahead, Jim. Go ahead.
yeah, I'm thinking about Laura having a slip.
Mark says hi
And you
there.
know, it's like I kind of think about, you know, what are our intentions? Um, you know, sometimes we want to go ahead and be free from a certain addiction, right? You have a slip up. Um, how bad is that slip up though, too? You know, and is it taking you further and further into a direction that's away from your true goal? Um, I don't know. I think about people who drink or eat or gamble, right? And it might not be something that you feel too happy about. It's not your proudest uh, characteristic, maybe,
Mm.
but you know, it might not be so bad, that it takes you into a horrible place.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, like, what are our true goals? I mean, we're here for a reason, right? We're here for a reason. Um, and I'm trying to go ahead and figure out, slipping up. What does slipping up mean to us? Does that just mean that, uh, we want to just take the edge off of our life? Uh, or does it mean something more dark in our life? Is
Yeah,
it a
we're,
serious
we're
problem?
not we're not wanting to let go of something. We're not wanting to. There's something that we're not seeing there.
In Laura's situation, I mean, like, is gambling a real serious problem for you? I mean, is that something that, is that habit, a serious problem, I mean, or is it just something that you don't like too much about yourself, and you want to go ahead and maybe kick it? I'm not quite sure. It's like, for me, it's like food, right? It's like, I know I should have been, staying on top of, my diet,
Mhm.
but, I do slip up, and I don't stick to the diet. There's certain circumstances in my life right now where I don't want to go ahead and drain myself of energy. I don't want to feel bad. I want to feel, a little bit good. So I kind of regress. You see, how badly am I regressing? I'm not regressing that bad. Am I proud that I can't stick to a consistent diet? You know, that kind of makes me feel a little bit bad. you know but is it destroying my life? No, it's not destroying my life. I'd like to be in a little bit better shape than I am right now, but you know I mean, that's the deal. So I'm thinking about, how bad is our quote unquote bad habit, and where do we want to go? How serious do we want to go and kick whatever we don't like about our lives out? And I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure.
Well, one thing is for sure. Whatever we're doing, we have to keep doing it. Whatever the sidetrack, or sidewinder is, right? Whatever hits you sideways, you're just going. Like, I sometimes you're driving down the road and you see these accidents. It's like, how in the world did that happen? You're like, man, that's like a sidewinder. It hit you sideways, but it happened. It happened. Keep improving upon what you see as your mission. Keep improving upon what you see as your mission. What is your mission? Maybe what you're doing right now, right? Surely, I'm sure if you've been at it for a while, Jim spoke about. Anyways, I didn't want to get sidetracked there. I'm going to say this real quick. What is the purpose of this place? Why are we here, right? Why is the SOSMC? What is the purpose for the SOSMC, Soldiers of Self Mastery Community?
Yeah,
Is this an experience? Is this an exposure to a think tank? Is this an inspiration? Is this a community? Is this support? Is this support?
I, I think,
I'm here. I'm here. Go ahead. I'm going to give you. I'm here. I'm here because sometimes we just feel like a failure, right? Maybe you did accomplish something, right? I was able to achieve a goal, a major goal in my life, but you might still feel like a failure. One of the reasons why I come here on Sundays and Wednesdays is because I'm still working on improving this mission, this worldwide mission that somehow I truly believe in. I believe that there's something about what I'm doing now that can help me financially, because It hasn't been. I'm not going to say it has. It hasn't been, but I believe it can be. Uh, my heart's in the right place to support people. So you keep going forward. You keep going. You fail. You fail. You maybe I didn't do enough videos, or I didn't do the right videos, or maybe I didn't do the right topic or whatever. And maybe like my YouTube channel might feel like it's dying out or whatever. Whatever. I keep going. Keep going. I'm here. And those of you that are still gambling, those of you that are failing, there's maybe one or two of you, there's a few of you that are visiting. Maybe you're doing okay. Maybe you're doing okay. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're losing a lot of money gambling. So, by the way, regarding the two wishes, the question that I asked earlier, I don't know if Jim paid attention to it. I think you did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to share one of the first things that I would ask for would be wisdom. That would be my priority for wisdom. But the wisdom that I'm asking for is the wisdom that will lead me through the rest of the years of my life to be able to make right decisions, or at least make better decisions, navigate through this labyrinth that I'm in, you're in. That would be mine. You don't have to share yours. That's just curiosity, trying to get your imagination going in that area. You never know. They say you never know what you wish for, right? You might get it. If you focus on something long enough, it'll begin to show up, and it should begin to show up in your path. Never focus. So this is for Laura. Never focus too heavy on sideline. Never focus too heavy on sideline. In other words, don't let those things that they're trying to sideline you, those whatever you want to call it, I call them sidewinders, right? And another thing is never looking to others for approval. Never looking to others for approval when you're going through your own shit. Now, is it okay to join with others and discuss with others that you believe in, that you trust in, that you can depend on? They're not going to stab you in the back with 50 knives, little daggers, if you know what I mean. But to Laura here, let me share this real quick. Being ashamed and mad is okay. It's all right. You can do that's just at least that goes to show you that you got some kind of conscience. Because if you didn't, then I think we'd be in trouble if you didn't say that, maybe to yourself, not to us, but to yourself, right? Can you imagine just thinking, man, I don't feel ashamed about anything wrong that I do. I don't feel mad. I don't, something's wrong with that. So that's a good sign. At least your conscience is not seared with a hot iron. That means that you're still working. And again, all it comes down to what it is that you're looking. What is your mission? If you can go into a casino once in a while, and if that's your thing, and you don't, tumble upside down, and that might be for some people. If you can go into a casino once in a while and lose big, and that's going to hurt you. If you're going to the casino, or you're buying the lotteries, or you're playing the pokies, or you're in the drac room. Is it drac? Let me see. Card. Yeah, cards. Cards backwards. I call it the drac room. All right. Let me get back to the music here real quick. Go ahead, Jim. You got a thought? So that was for Laura. Hopefully, Laura. It's not that loud, is it, Jim?
No.
It's okay then. It's okay. Okay. We'll leave it there for now because we're already 25 minutes into this thing, and I'm looking for questions again. By the way, if you feel that this mission is support, be sure to share a video. Be sure to leave a comment and subscribe. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel so that you can participate. Come on the camera. Come into the live stream. Get in here. Share your ideas. Ask your questions. Challenge me. I'm yet to be challenged. I sometimes I feel like I do. It's like somebody needs to ask me a question that needs to challenge me or to challenge you on the other side for you to find the answer, your solution, your breakthrough, your wish, right? What if your wish was to get a breakthrough? What would be your wish, Jim? Do you know? You want to share it? You don't have to.
I wish for more wishes. I wish for more wishes for sure. But I mean, if you're talking about wishes,
Yeah.
I mean, like we have an infinite imagination, right? And we can create whatever we want in our mind, right? Yeah, I mean, like physically, you can't really be Michael Jordan or LeBron James. I get that,
Just yeah.
but I mean,
Imagine it only. You can
you can go and think about the direction of your life. I mean, the direction of your life. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to be? Look at your situation right now. Do you like it? Is there a better place that you like to go? It's like you can start asking yourself questions, maybe not wishes, but questions. It's like, how can I feel better about myself? Is there a way for me to feel better about myself? So I can go ahead and gain confidence. I can go ahead and do, the things that I'd like to do. How can I stop beating myself and being ashamed? What can I do? You know, and I think this going back to this program, it's like you talked about it before, I would say that this program's, like you always say, a series of good, constant, positive reminders. Because I think a lot of times, the demonic mind likes to downplay or help us forget
black coffee with
the consequences of our bad habits.
we had instant.
We forget. We forget it quite a bit about the consequences of doing negative things. I mean, if we're talking about Laura, it's like she had a slip up, right? You know, um, and a while ago, everyone comes over here because there's that they realize that these habits that we all have are negative, and they can go out and lead us to some serious future destruction, serious destruction. But sometimes it's easy to forget about, the severe consequences of our actions if we keep on going down this dark path. It doesn't seem bad right now. It doesn't seem bad right now, but I think this program's here to go ahead and remind us that we need to stay on the straight and narrow. Because if we don't, little by little, little by little, right? We're just going to go ahead and keep moving in the wrong direction until a major catastrophic event is going to happen, you know? So, I mean, we're either getting stronger or we're getting weaker, And what are we doing to get stronger, right? What are we failing to do to just keep getting weaker, right? I mean, that's another thing. I mean, this program is here for us to go and take a self assessment. What are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? You know,
This this is the demilitarized zone right here for a little bit, if you will. I guess you can call it. We're in the war. We're in a war, and the world is a war. We're already. People said people are talking about World War III with Russia and China. I personally believe that we have been in we've never. I don't think we've ever really had any real peace on this planet. Honestly, I was thinking about this last night. I don't think we really have any. I mean, when you think about it, there's been war. There's always war every single day, even if it's just war in a state or war in a country. Maybe there hasn't been bombs sent to the United States or anything like that, but we are at war. And now things have escalated even further with us going into Russia. We're actually on Russia's from if these videos that are popping out of the matrix, right? Every once in a while you get a video that just pops out of the matrix and like, what the heck is this? I got to stay away from this. If these videos that are coming at us from the matrix that are popping out, if they're actual truth, I believe there's a lot of potential truth in what I see. Some of these videos that pop out. We're already in Russia. We've been in Russia. And Putin, Mr. Putin is a very, very patient man. Very, very patient. If you know anything about Putin, if you ever watched his videos or listened to his speeches or studied him a little bit, He's a very, very patient man. I don't. This thing with where we're going with NATO and running into Russia, it's not a good thing at all. Number one, it's not because we've gone into Russia's territory. It's because Russia has doctrine that protects their arsenal. And if they feel threatened in any way, what kind of a move are they going to make? It may not be the soldiers that have entered into Russia that get taken out. Or what if this thing, I mean, what if this thing goes even further, goes even worse with Russia? China's not happy. India's not happy. You know, the Middle East isn't happy. There's all of these things going on. And by the way, I got to say this right now, that gambling is a big fat lie. So we're all distracted in many ways. You got to distract your distractions. So you fell down, you made a mistake, you know, what is it that you're trying to accomplish? Are you going to stay there, like Jim said, right? Are you going to stay there? How bad is it? And I'm not just speaking to Laura here, I'm speaking to all of us. Race, welcome. Let me see. So, how do I protect myself from relapses with lottery tickets? Raymond, I'm going to ask you, how do you think you can do that? Coming here is one way that you can help yourself, protect yourself, because this place is a reminder. The problem is we become lone rangers. Well, I'm going to wait till Sunday during the week. I'm not going to watch any videos. I'm not going to support the SOSMC community to help other gamblers, even though I'm struggling. Right? You on the other side. I'm not going to support the mission. You should. You should come in. You should watch a video and watch the whole thing. Leave a comment, share the video if you can support. If you can support this mission financially in some way, do that. Don't just be giving up all your money to these beggarly elements. You know, we need to support each other. We need to help each other, other people too. We got to think about other people. We must. And you know, I'm just being real with folks. I do my best to give to this community as much as I can. It's tough. This is a tough. It's a worldwide mission, and it's very tough because this lie is so thick. It's so dark, so black. Has a lot of people confused. The lottery tickets, the pokies, you know, sitting on top of a palm tree, betting on a horse running backwards. People do stuff like that. You think that's not real? Best thing to do is, Raymond, what I would recommend is you already have an idea of what you can do. You have your ideas. You need to reinforce those ideas. Uh, you know, you need to, again, keep improving upon what you see as your mission. You know, never focus too heavy on the sidelines. If you have a problem, then you have a problem. You need to seek help, right? If you have a severe problem, you should seek help. I do offer coaching. I have opened up 45 minutes of strategy sessions for those of you that are struggling severely. If you're just struggling severely and you need someone to talk to about your struggle, about your gamble, about your freedom, your prison, your finances, private communication between you and I, it's a 45-minute coaching session. You can visit the website below there. Now, there is a stipulation to that, right? There is a little stipulation when you go there. You can see it. I make it available for anyone that needs to talk to somebody who's doing it. If you're going to talk to somebody, why not talk to somebody that's already doing it? It makes sense, right? It does make sense. Somebody that's already doing it. You can talk. I remember talking to this young trucker. I believe he was a trucker. He told me that he was speaking to counselors, but they didn't understand him. He had gone through counseling for a year. He paid money into it. This is a trucker. Paid money to it. If my mind serves me correct. He told me the counselors did not understand what he was going through. He said they weren't strong enough. In other words, they weren't really looking at the goal in the conversations they were having. They weren't really looking at what was really going on. And I don't believe a counselor can really help. Personally, I don't think a counselor can really help a gambler. Maybe a coach that has done it, because the coach is going to work with your strengths, with your abilities, with your goals, with your mindset. See, a counselor or a consultant or a psychiatrist might try to give you medicine. They'll give you a regimen. Okay, this is the way it needs to go. We're going to meet next week. I'm going to follow up with you. I want to make sure that you do this, this, and the other thing. The coach is totally different. When you meet with a coach, you outline to the coach what it is that you're struggling with. And the coach will help you bring up if the coach is a good coach, the coach will bring up your strengths and some of your weaknesses, but a good coach will bring up your strengths so that you can see them clearly and how you can overcome the failures of last week or the week before, et cetera, if that makes sense. Anyhow, I didn't need to get political here, but the world is in trouble, folks. So is our financial system. Go ahead, Jim. Let me see. Did I get your, hopefully, Raymond? Laura, did we help you here? Did I help with a little bit of what I shared? Hopefully you're paying attention. You're here, you're watching. Raymond, let me know. Are we sharing some information that helps you? If not, challenge me. Ask a better question, right?
For Raymond, I want to go ahead and ask Raymond, what are your triggers? What's the reward that you get from buying lottery tickets? What's the reward? Because, I mean, the habit will continue because you're getting some kind of reward from it. Is it the thrill? Do you win? What instigates, your I guess the cue. What's the cue that causes the event of buying the lottery tickets? I think that's doing some self-analysis. I mean, if you really want to go and stay away from that particular habit, just kind of analyze yourself. How does this whole thing happen? How does this whole cycle, start? And kind of break that down. It's like, obviously you don't like this habit. It must be detrimental to you. Maybe it's a good idea to go and write down all the bad things that or the negative things that come out of buying these lottery tickets. Maybe waste the money, waste the time. I focus so much on lottery tickets, I'm not focusing on my family or my job. I keep on doing this stuff, I'm wasting time, wasting money. I could be doing something else. Maybe it's embarrassing. Maybe it's I'm ashamed of myself. Now, what are all these negative things? List the things that list the things that would make you happy. If you were away from this habit. And like I said, what are the triggers? What are the triggers that get you down this road? And I mean, like, think about the reward. Is it really a reward? I mean, the reward that you're getting, is it really worth it compared to the pain that you're feeling right now? I mean, you're here for a reason. You're here for a reason. Obviously, that, the consequences of your habit is probably bad enough, awful enough that you're seeking help right over here. So I think, we talked about this before. It's really important to be honest with ourselves. What's our situation, and be honest with the direction that we're heading, and the awful destination if we keep on doing the things that we're doing. We got to go and wake up and just be reminded. If I keep doing what I'm doing, I'm going to end up in this bad place. I'm going to end up in this awful place where, I mean, there's no way, there could be no way of getting out, or getting out will be just so overwhelming. The people that I love are going to get hurt. I'm going to get hurt. I'm going to lose a lot. We got to go ahead and be mindful. We got to wake up, right? Be honest with ourselves and say, you know what, if I keep on going down this path, and it's a frightening thing, Santos, it's a frightening thing to go ahead and be honest with yourself and be honest with, where you're headed. Sometimes our mind tries to protect ourselves from thinking about, how bad, the destination is going to be if we keep on doing what we're doing. But we got to go ahead and wake up. We got to wake up. This show is a good constant set of positive reminders to start heading in a better direction. There's a reason.
So we're here every Sunday, by the way. We're here every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I've been debating whether I'm going to keep the Wednesday live program. I may keep it. We'll see how it goes during the week. May keep it. Raymond Simmons, to be young again. What a wish, huh? To be young again. Yeah. Jim said more wishes.
Yeah.
Jim wants more wishes. I said, I want more. I want wisdom. But then there's the second wish, right? What would that one be? That's kind of an interesting thing to think about. So another thing is that you must practice patience, right? Practice patience. Every day, you better be practicing patience. That's all I can tell you. If you're not practicing patience, you're gonna get in the road rash or road hash, or you're gonna become another road dash. That's the truth there, right? Especially those of us that spend a lot of time driving. I don't spend a lot of time driving, but there's a lot of people that spend there's a lot of the world that's out there working, traveling, commuting. Practice patience, folks. You fell down. You bought some lottery tickets last week. You spent $500 from your paycheck. By the way, $500 is a pretty big deal out of your paycheck. So you did that last Friday, right? It's Sunday night. We're getting Monday. It's getting ready to start a new week. Practice patience. Practice patience. What else are you going to do? If you're going to beat yourself, don't beat yourself down. Beat yourself up. All right? I'd rather be beat up than beat down. I don't know about you on the other side. It's easier when you're going up. Anyhow, we're coming close to the end. We have a couple of more thoughts. We may end up finishing this. Today's topic was really around two wishes. What if you had two wishes? What would you wish for? What would be your number one wish? What would you wish for first if you had two wishes, right? That'd be kind of an interesting thing if something like that could ever happen. We've talked about moving, keep improving upon what you see as your mission, right? Never focus too heavy on your sidelines, your sidewinders. I fell down. I bought some, my friend invited me to sit on the palm tree, and it was a beautiful view. Coach Santos, Coach Jim, it was breathtaking. Sitting on top of that palm tree, you wouldn't believe. And the horses did run backwards. I lost a bunch of money, almost fell out of the tree, but it was well worth it. No, people are actually living like that. So practice patience, right? You fell out of the tree. Hopefully you didn't break your ribs all. Another thing I'm going to leave you with here is involve others where possible. Involve others where possible. Be a part of this community. Watch some videos. Maybe there's something that you can do for somebody else tomorrow that would be in your scope of your realm of influence, I guess. But beware traps. Man, beware traps or beware bullies. Bullies. Gambling is a big fat lie. Gambling is like a big bully. That would be my call to action for this broadcast. I'm going to hang around for just a few minutes. Jim's going to share his thoughts here. And hopefully we've made some, hopefully we've made some mess I mean, hopefully we've made some sense. Not mess. We've made some sense out of this hodgepodge of a podcast today, number 369. I think it was pretty good. I'm glad to be here. I'll leave more encouraged and motivated for tomorrow. So, shout out to LinkedIn, shout out to YouTube and Twitch. So, yeah, we've had quite a few of us. Go ahead, Jim. Share your thoughts. And again, if there's another question here, ask. Listen, if you asked a question or you made a statement and we didn't get to point it out, if it's something that's going to help the community, point it out. Point it out. Roar. And if you're not working out, let me see. And if you're not working out, I'll leave it there. You better be. Get on it. Start doing some exercises. I don't care what it is. During the week, do 2-3 days of exercise. 15, 20 minutes. Do it. Do it. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah. Just another thing I was thinking about is like the world's always going to be the way it is, because I guess you can say that the world is sinful, has a lot of evil, all that kind of stuff. So it's always going to be the same, you know. The question is, how do you respond to all that stuff? And I think also more importantly, how do we respond to our own thoughts? How do we respond to ourselves? You know, when we start getting anxiety, when we start feeling bad, how are we responding to these feelings when we're giving ourselves negative self-talk? How are we responding to that? You know, I mean, we all have a choice. There is a choice. And you talk about wishes, you know, I like to think about imagination. We have an imagination to go ahead and choose, certain thoughts, right? So how are we, what are we imagining? What are we choosing to imagine? What are we choosing to wish? I wish freedom, I wish freedom from this awful disease that I have, this addiction. I wish for that. And that's the imagination kicking in. It's like once you start focusing, the gears start turning in our mind. I tell the students, you guys are problem solvers. You have imagination. You have inquisitive mind. The gears start grinding in the mind, and it starts searching for if you want it. If you want it, but you got to go ahead and want it really. Do you want to be depressed? Do you want to go ahead and have self-pity? Do you want to go ahead and be in a negative mindset? Is that what you want? You have to. I think it's important to ask ourselves that question. Ask yourself, do you really want to go and be depressed? Do you want that? Maybe it feels comfortable. Subconsciously, it feels comfortable to be depressed because it's like you know even though it's an awful feeling, you know, you don't have to take any responsibility or work to get out of it. Maybe that's the reason why you're in that state. But really, is it worth it? Is it really worth living a life like that? Being constantly at the mercy of your addiction, constantly at the mercy of that mind saying, you're so stupid. I messed up once again. How could you do something like that again? You went to the casino again. Why did I do this? I'm so
When you
stupid.
fall into that mindset, Jim, that mindset that you're speaking of there, one of the, again, two things that really, actually three things. Some folks have no control. My advice, and you said this earlier, you said it one of the other podcasts about prayer. You said it earlier. Pray. Pray, ask God. Well, I've never prayed before. I've never prayed before either. I remember some guy gave me a Bible when I was on the ship in the Navy, and I looked at that book. It was a green book. It was a hardback Bible, and I couldn't understand it at all. I tried to read it. Anyways, I do read it today. It's strange. Your self-talk and journaling. if you find yourself repeating something very negative, right, in your mind, thought, uh, if you have your phone with you, you can immediately open up your journal there. By the way, there's an app called the it's a free app. I've had it for about, I don't know, several years now. I keep it on my phone. I use it all the time. It's called Perspective app. You can see some of those colors are my journals for, I think, starting for this year. Anyways, I have those are all entries. Look at that. See all those? Those are all entries into my journal online. So you can begin to repeat things. You can begin to repeat things over and over, and your good life is going to come out of a good series of good, constant, positive reminders. I'm not saying it's going to fix your problem just by writing, well, this is what I want to see. This is what I want to see. I'm going to see this thing. I'm going to see this thing. I'm going to see this thing. I'm not going to guarantee it. I know one thing, though, the more you write it, the less you'll be thinking about it up here. It'll distract whatever it is that you need to distract if you're writing it. If you're just using your mind, it's kind of, it's mediocre. You can still work it. But now you're using your journal or you're using your self-talk. You're hitting yourself with a double whammy. It's more power. It's more impact. So again, the key is to catch it, right? Like I remember Jim Carpenter's The Fog, that movie. I don't know if you guys remember that. The fog would come in, and as soon as you saw the fog, you knew it was over. It was over. The pirates were everywhere. It was mayhem. So again, the key is to smell that cloud, or to see that cloud, to know what it is that's a difficulty in your life. Why are you beating yourself up? Why are you resulting to negative behavior or whatever? That's an addiction also. That is an addiction because it's default. So the more that you recognize these things, obviously, the more you're going to be more prepared, right? That's like the military. They prepare you for these scenarios. I remember they used to train us in nuclear, biological, chemical warfare. And when I was doing it, I thought it was weird. We'd dress up in these funny suits, and we'd have these machines, these with scales and these things that we could, like a wand, and we'd go over these scenarios where we were dragging bodies with an arm that was cut in half, or a leg that was busted, and et cetera, et cetera. Prepare. They prepared us for things that I never saw physically. You read about in textbooks and stuff like that, and you see about it maybe in the old times. Yet you have to be prepared for that smog. You have to be prepared for that carpenter's fog before it begins to take over. And that's something that we can build into a habit, right? You already have a habit of doing it. It's like mind, mouth, power, congruency backwards. You got all this power and all this stuff, but it's running backwards. It just keeps running backwards. Well, you got to throw a monkey wrench in there somewhere and get it to start flowing forward a little bit. Yeah, well, it's not the very best, but you got it going forward now. You know what I'm saying? You're using these life hacks, and we talk a lot about mirror talk and YouTube therapy, or VT, video therapy, and ST, self-talk, all of these things. So let that be an encouragement to whoever's listening. This is something that I work on myself too. So who knows, maybe this week we need to pull out the journal more, Jim, bring it out more and repeatedly blast it. Let the journal have it. If you're going to be angry, turn it loose on your journal.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I was talking about, using imagination, right? I mean, like I saw a YouTube video. I think it was a YouTube short talking about how, what if you got $10 million? Okay. How would you feel? Great. But let's say that, you only have one day to live, but you get the $10 million. He says, would you take that $10 million? No, absolutely not. So why don't you just go ahead and imagine that every day, you have something worth more than $10 million,
Mm.
and be happy. Be happy, be grateful, that you have something spectacular every day. So I encourage everyone to go ahead and start thinking about different perspectives, better perspectives, instead of seeing your addiction or gambling as something positive. Look at it in a different light. Make
Mm.
those associations. Talk about, it's, Raymond talks about being bored, right? Right. You know, you can go ahead and think about, when you're gambling, you can go ahead and just think about being sucked down a trap. You know, it's pulling me in. This boredom is actually killing me.
Mhm.
You know, it's like here it goes. I'm falling into this trap that's killing me with all these lottery ticket stuff. Just seeing things from different perspectives. We have the power to go ahead and control our perspective. We can go ahead and make the bad stuff really bad. Associate. We have the power to make associations. We can we can go ahead and associate you know better things in our life, and see the positive results that can come from that. Um, but just seeing things from a different perspective.
Yeah, looking at, yeah, just sitting down and simply thinking. Again, this could be a think tank right here, coming here for 45 minutes or an hour, and just the ability to just stop out of your days busy, and let's think, let's work together. This is a positive community. I believe it has good intentions, good motives, and we can come together. We can share ideas. Who knows? We can build business together, or help you build business. Maybe, however, we can come together as a community here and help other gamblers worldwide, which is really the true mission, the true sport motive. So I don't have any more to say. I do want to thank Calvin, Raymond, City by the Bay, Laura, Mark, Norman, Jim, all the way from Tucson, and Mr. Carnivore, Race, City by the Bay. There's been quite a few of you guys. I appreciate all of you guys here. Remember to support this mission. Listen, this is it'd be nice if I had a sponsor. That would be cool. If I had a sponsor for the never know. Hey, that could be a wish. You get a sponsor for the YouTube channel that could actually help us support and expand. Because it takes a little bit of time, a few hands, and money, really, and we can reach more people around the world with this community and this mission. So that's my goal. That's what I'm going to keep doing. Whether I fail, keep failing, keep going, get up, dust off, learn, and keep going forward. So, with that said, thank you. A shout out to Twitch, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And it looks like we're done here. You're welcome, Raymond. Hopefully, you guys have gotten something out of this, because if you didn't, man, I don't want you guys to waste your time. Don't waste your time anywhere you go. If you're not getting anything out of it, it's a waste of time. All right. Will I see you at the top on my next one? Peace through strength. Pray, read, take action. Jim said, use your imagination. All right. With that said, I'll see you guys on my next one.
Thank you, Santos. You have a great week.
All right, Jim. Take care, you guys, everybody. Bye now.
Bye bye.